welcome back to the Nutmeg. We're going to take care of our latest cut of cars. We're going to break it down, for individual industries to be delivered around the layout. And let's kind of get started here. We've got, if you saw just a second ago, we've got an additional locomotive in our consist. That's an older or patched out LMS unit, numbered 739, and that's new to our layout, and we're going to give it our first run today, and we'll see how it goes. A little bit of foreshadowing there. I'm going to have a little bit of a coupler problem, but not a huge issue. Let's set up these 3 covered hoppers to go down to the municipal lot for delivery there, and then we're going to kind of keep these 2 box cars on the front end of the locomotives for a short time, just as a handle. We've got those need to be put on this end of a couple of different cut of cars. So I'm just going to hang tight on the front of the locomotives for a minute. And there it is. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but in this upcoming clip here, the half of the knuckle just simply came right off. So you can see here, it doesn't look quite right there, and then what's this down between the ties? That is the hook part of the coupler. So pretty crazy. Changed it out, paused the video, and then changed it out, and we're back in action. So let's hook back up to this cut of cars and then keep on moving. Pausing here a little indecisively, and then deciding best course of action would be to pull the whole cut of cars out for the most part, and just sort of like start at the very end of it, and get cars onto the correct tracks that they're supposed to go on, and that's how we're going to approach this one. First things first, though, we're going to get that shoving platform over onto the storage track for those. And then we're going to get that reefer car over onto track 1, farthest track away from us. That's not the main. The main is the farthest track away, and then goes main, track 1, track 2, and track 3. And then technically this is track 4 that we're on, but that's the storage track for the shoving platforms. So we'll cut that one loose, and then we're going to get the reefer over onto track 1. And then that center beam is going to go back over onto track 3. Slight correction, we're going to get that center beam and 2 gondolas over onto track 2 because there needs to be a boxcar in between that center beam and the first covered hopper. We're just going to let that cut of cars with the center beam all the way to this high side gondola or scrap gon sit there on track 2 for a hot minute. Let me put that back onto the rails, knock that off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put those tank cars out in front of the reefer car on track 1. Because those 2 cuts of cars, the tank cars and the reefer car, those are going to be delivered. Those are trailing spurs, so we're going to need locomotive on the other end of that cut of cars. So we're going to put those together for delivery in the same operating session, and then we're going to get this. I think this BNSF car, the one farthest to the left, needs to go, is the one that we need in front of the covered hopper there, but let's find out in just a minute. I could have cut a few seconds out of this video right about now. I was a little bit confused as to which car needed to go on which track, a little bit more indecision, and then all of a sudden I realize exactly what I've got to do, and I can start moving things around. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to get this this high side gondola or scrap gon over onto track 1 in front of those tank cars. This is an empty, and it's going to be going down to the lower level, even though the lower level isn't quite done yet. I wanted to kind of simulate deliveries to the lower level in this operating session, just to figure out how it all worked. And I think, so essentially for our purposes in the, more recent upcoming videos, this guy is going to get shoved over into storage track, kind of off to the left of the screen right about now. And that's going to be delivered in a completely different operating session, or would be delivered in a completely different operating session. So that's why we're putting that over there on track 1, so that it can get shoved over onto the storage track once we get to taking care of the trailing spurs. And then for right now, though, let's get this BNSF car over in front of the covered hoppers, and then it's the Vermont rail car that goes in front of that, and then we can grab the cut of gondolas and center beam and put those onto track 3 as well, because the red CP car that's going over to Walter's Feed and Grain, sorry, and that needs to be the last car that we do. this Vermont Rail boxcar off of the gondolas, get that over onto track 3, and then we'll be back over to track 2 to grab that cut of 3 cars and put it on the other end of this boxcar. While we're doing that, just to kind of touch base on the scenery here around the layout, I haven't quite gotten down to this area with painting the rails and all of that sort of thing quite yet. So obviously we've still got a bit of a pink desert still going on. You can see a little bit of crushed stone / ballasting over on the right hand side of the screen in the transload facility, but that's just me sort of testing out different things to see what works, and then I'm going to kind of come back, paint the rails and everything, and then sort of figure this stuff out. Okay, here we go. Let's get this cut of 3 over here on track 3, and then we are going to be just about done. Just got a final maneuver after that, and then we're going to be done for the day. Okay, and at this point, I should go in and grab a shoving platform and just simply bring it over to track 1 right about now, but I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna make a mistake, and then I'm gonna take the cut of cars from track 1 and then grab a shoving platform. And what that's gonna do is put the shoving platform exactly on the opposite end of this cut of cars that I need it to be on, and I'm going to learn that in the next episode, and we'll sort that out at that time. But the reason why that's a mistake is because the shoving platforms on the Nutmeg are for one of 2 reasons. One, to move around as a buffer between the locomotive and hazardous materials, and then the other reason is to be for long shoves up and down to the lower level, or down and then up to the lower level, where the locomotive is at the rear of the train. And in this particular case, that shoving platform is going to be, because we've got the reefer cars, we can use the reefer car as a buffer for those tank cars. So I don't need the shoving platform for that. What I need the shoving platform for is for the scrap gun. So the scrap gun is supposed to be going down to the lower level on a, what we would call right now, a trailing spur, because the very end of the railroad is a trailing spur, and so I need that on this end, the locomotive end of that scrap gun, in order to do a long shove. But I'll sort that out in the next video, And with that, we are done for today. And we will see you on the next one. On the next one, we're going to be taking care of this cut of cars on track 1. You can see I'm going to move over to track 2 and start my running around to the other end, getting ready for the next video. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.